Welcome back. A teen boy, one of 3 people jailed in connection with a recent murder. Our Amajal Knowles was down at the courts for us. He gives us the details of that arraignment, as well as the case of a 19-year-old alleged killer.
A 17-year-old was on Monday sent straight to jail following his alleged involvement in a recent killing. The teen was charged as an accessory to murder. It's alleged that the young man, knowing Keith Barr and Toriano Cummings to be parties to an offense, assisted them for the purpose of enabling them to avoid the law. Is in connection with the December 10th death of Louise Nassance. The juvenile was consequently remanded to the Department of Corrections until February 22nd, 2018. Barr and Cummings are scheduled to return to court on the same date after facing 1 count of murder and 2 counts of armed robbery. The details are that on the day in question, the pair, armed with a handgun, allegedly robbed Kane's Flushcar of $126 and St. Matt Joseph of a Samsung cell phone valued at $100, along with $200 in cash. The 2 are not required to enter a plea. Also facing a murder charge before Chief Magistrate Joanne Ferguson Pratt was 19-year-old Travis Lockhart of Yellow Elder Gardens. He's accused of killing Anthony Anton McKenzie. Now, while the accused indicated that he was represented by Glendon Roll was not present at the arraignment. Arguing in his defense, Lockhart told the court he was wearing an ankle monitor as required from a previous offense, adding that the bracelet should indicate that he was at home in Yellow Elder as opposed to Fox Hill, where the incident is alleged to have taken place. Still, Lockhart was not required to enter a plea and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until February 23rd, when his matter will be fast-tracked via a voluntary bill of indictment. For JCN News, I'm Amajal Knowles.
A brazen daylight robbery at a West Bay Street hotel under investigation. Details are few, but we have confirmed that the gun-toting thieves made off with a substantial amount of money, as well as other items from the Courtyard Marriott earlier this afternoon. In other news, another round of layoffs in the private sector leading to a growing unemployment rate should things not turn around soon. In this report, our Jillian Gray tells us a bit more about who's next to be added to the country's jobless list and when.
30 at the Bank of the Bahamas, another 14 at Resorts World's Bimini, 12 at the Gaming Board, and 30 at the Department of Inland Revenue. That's a grand total of 86 people who've been laid off ahead of the holidays. And according to Labor Minister Dion Folks, there'll be even more sheddings in the private sector come the new year.
Some 14 persons are going to be laid off from early next month. Other than that notification, I have no other notifications of layoffs for January, February, or March.
Now, though tight-lipped on the specifics in terms of which company and exactly what date we're working with, Minister Folks said he believes the fact that there's only been 1 notice from a company in this regard is good news. That aside, he's optimistic 2018 will bring an expansion in the private sector. That's thanks to Bahamar coupled with projects in Grand Bahama and the Family Islands. It's an expansion, he says, will assist the government in keeping a handle on public service hirings.
The public service is overstaffed. One of the things we do not want to do is to let go public servants. Other countries have done so. We will not do that. What we will do is try to control the employment level. For example, those persons who may retire or for other reasons leave the service, we are going to try to reduce the amount of persons employed in the public service that way, as opposed to making them redundant.
The government placed a freeze on public sector hirings several months back. For JCN News, I'm Jillian Gray.
Minister Folks was speaking to our news team following the opening session of a 1-day seminar that saw its 50 participants receive certification in internal auditing.
The aim of this training exercise is to equip participants with an understanding of internal auditing based on the requirements of international standards. It is hoped that all participants will leave with an appreciation of the value of internal audits to their respective organizations. Internal audits provide a unique opportunity for improved performance.
The seminar was organized by the Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation and the Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Qualities. JANAC facilitator Sharon May Shirley says accreditation and quality infrastructure stimulizes businesses and economies.
The balance of trade is important. It is an important game changer. And we believe that accredited-based conformity assessments is the vehicle that will take us to our desired destination, that of strong economies right across the Caribbean region.
The one-day seminar attracted participants from throughout the country. The Prime Minister using a weekend address in the U.S. Capitol to invite Bahamian overseas to at least consider new investment opportunities at home in areas like aquaculture, the maritime sector, and biotechnology. This along with an additional invitation to lend their talents and resources to youth development, volunteerism, and community service. Now, to facilitate this plan, Foreign Missions will then create a database of Bahamians overseas that the country may tap into as potential investors, consultants, and philanthropists. Here's how it would work. For example, if there's not a domestic Bahamian consultant available in a given field, the government would first look to find a Bahamian overseas. Considerations also being given to an overseas council of the Bahamian diaspora that will help produce a database and platform for communication of Bahamians overseas. According to the Prime Minister, such an overseas council may also promote investment and job opportunities for Bahamians wishing to return to and/or work in the Bahamas. Now, while Dr. Minnis has visited Washington on many occasions, this was his first visit to the U.S. Capitol since becoming Prime Minister back in May. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.